Alright, I had this discussion for many years now. I personally think it's a silly argument, but back in the day, me and my friends discussed on which film was the better shark film, the 1975 classic shark horror film, Jaws, or the 1999 shark horror film, Deep Blue Sea. Now, since we had this argument, there's been plenty of shark movies that have been released, like The Meg, and I think The Meg 2 is coming up real soon. But I know most viewers of this video would think Jaws is the better film. For the young bloods out there who think Jaws is the lesser film, Jaws was released in the summer of 1975, regarded as the first summer blockbuster film based on the 1974 novel by Peter Benchley, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Roy Schneider as the Amity Island Police Chief Martin Brody. I was seriously about to say Amityville Horror. But anyways, as Brody teams up with a marine biologist played by Richard Dreyfuss and professional shark hunter played by Robert Shaw, their job is to stop a man-eating great white shark terrorizing the beach goers. This film is just not a crazy animal horror, but a thriller as well, as Brody is in a rush to find out what's taking people out and the thrilling hunt of the shark towards the end of the film. I do say this, the film made me avoid taking a bath, made me avoid going near pools, because the images of Quint, played by Shaw, being dragged and eaten by Bruce the Shark scared the hell out of me. As far as also is the one-on-one between Martin Brody and the shark as the boat sinks to the bottom. And you don't really know where Richard Dreyfuss' character is at the time, also it's like, where is he at? Not to mention the mood of the movie was started with that poor girl in the beginning being dragged across the dark waters of the ocean by an unseen shark. Most audience were scared of the movie, scared to go into water, but loved the movie. Also, not to mention, but I'm going to mention it, Bruce the Shark or Jaws was a practical effect. The crew actually struggled to keep that damn shark afloat, causing delays in filming, and not to mention the sequels that came after it. Outside of Jaws 2, the other sequels were not to forget, this film really gave clout to Universal Studios as well. Now, for Deep Blue Sea, released 24 years later after Jaws during the summer of 1999, starring Saffron Burrows, Thomas Jane, and Screaming Al Jackson. And this film is more of a science fiction film, but this film was set underwater in a facility with a team of scientists researching on mako sharks to help fight Alzheimer's disease. But as well, things always go wrong. Sharks start cutting up, which leads to almost a Jurassic Park massacre upon the scientists. This movie is very similar to Jurassic Park. Samuel L. Jackson gets cut down in his prime.
We're gonna seal off this.
Now, general audiences had mixed reviews, but praised the suspense and action sequences, but saw the film almost as a B-type film, especially with that CGI. To me, at least to me, the sharks appeared too animated. But nonetheless, the film was successful at the box office, and some regard it as being maybe the second best shark film after Jaws. Now, I feel like every shark movie since the release of Jaws, all of them felt like they even the shark, the Jaws sequels, it felt like all of them was trying to catch that Jaws high that was experienced in 1975. But I have to say, Jaws is a more complete movie. It has the fear factor based on realism as well. And it calls the audiences to really, like I said earlier, not jump into the water. It has the suspense towards the end with the hunt of Bruce the Shark. And there are stakes, of course. Bruce the Shark was not only causing fear on the island, but his terror will cause a financial downturn for that beach town, as well as Brody's job. Not to say Deep Blue Sea didn't, but it seems like it was a mixing of Universal's two biggest hits, Jaws and Jurassic Park. Scientists playing God to make a cure for a disease, but it backfires on them, and now the scientists must traverse the underwater facility and avoid the man-eating sharks as well. I just honor Jaws a little bit more due to the blood and sweat and tears it took to create that film. Where Deep Blue Sea specialized in CGI effects for the sharks, which took me out as far as realism, not to say blood, sweat, and tears wasn't spent on this film. But after a while, Deep Blue Sea just becomes a little comical, but I had to give the edge to Jaws. Before we go on with the show, how about you guys like, share, subscribe to Franchise History TV, even comment down in the comments down below. I'm also on Instagram at franchise_TV and on Twitter at TV_franchise. I also have 2 other channels if you guys are interested: Lone Wolf Adventure TV and Franchise 2 Sports. So yeah, subscribe to those 3 channels. And also like, share, subscribe on all 3 of them. I say subscribe 3 times. I'm done. Bye. Now, a shark film that doesn't get enough praise, that I actually see higher than Deep Blue Sea, is the 2016 thriller The Shallow, starring the wonderful Blake Lively, where her character Nancy is stranded on a rock near shore in Mexico, and she's being stalked by a 23-foot great white shark who knocked her off her surfer and bites her leg, bleeding. Now, the movie is a test of strength and willpower for Nancy. They always say less is best. In this case, they're right. And it may not include the bloodshed of bodies being eaten by sharks, but damn, imagine being stuck on an island. Not even stuck on an island, a small rock island almost, with a vicious great white surrounding you for a couple of days in the hot sun. No food, only seawater to drink while you bleed, and a seagull looks at you crazy. Yeah, that's frightening to think about. I would just have to put Shallows above Deep Blue Sea and compare that to Jaws instead. I will put Deep Blue Sea in the category of the Meg, but I think all these films, as far as shark films, are top 10 shark films of all time. It's actually shocking to think there's 20 shark films according to Watch Mojo. But anyways, in conclusion, Jaws is just a better film, better story, better thrills, better scares, and the originator of the shark film shit. And also, like I said, it helped a slow studio out to become what it is now. But tell me what you guys think. Hey, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button too. What are you waiting for? Just do it. It's free. Duh.